Hello, my name is Ruben Aguilar. Today I will be talking about the top two qualities of a successful student that I feel I am the strongest in. Then I will speak on the top two qualities I feel I need to improve the most in and how I will bring myself to do so. A quality I believe I am very strong in is self motivation. I feel as if every day of my life I am motivating and encouraging myself to get through whatever it may be that I need to motivate myself through. An example of this I could use is from Saturday this week. During Saturday at my job, I was given the task to drive myself all the way to Dallas from Cyprus in a truck. And I know to a lot of people, that's not that big of a deal because it's not that far of a drive, and driving a truck could be your daily thing. But to me, it was pretty crazy because I've never driven over 30 minutes and I've never driven a truck. So I was really, really scared. But but no matter what, no matter how afraid I was, I still decided to keep on pushing, and I kept repeating to myself throughout the day, throughout the drive, every time I would get scared, um, that I could do it. If I just kept pushing through and I kept telling myself that, other people could do it. If other people could do it, I could do it, and I'll be fine. And eventually, that allowed me to get through the drive, and I am far more confident in it now. If I have to drive home, I wouldn't be as worried as I was beforehand. Um, and I feel like this is a clear example of me pushing myself and motivating myself to achieve bigger goals and push further into life. I feel as if self awareness is my second strongest quality of being a successful student. I consider myself a very self aware person, as I always understand my strengths, weaknesses, and limits. An example of this is when I enrolled myself into classes this semester. I understood that I will be working 10 hours a day every day and that my job would make focusing on school very hard. Keeping this in mind, despite wanting to push myself to exceed my own expectations, I understood risking taking too many classes could cause me to fail at both school and work. So I took it upon myself to enroll myself only into one class this semester, ensuring both work and school won't really clash upon each other because I was worried if I put too much focus into school, then maybe I'd stay up too late and I'd be tired at work. Or the other way around, I'd work too much and I'd be too tired to do school, so I fall behind in school. So since I'm only doing one class, I feel like they really shouldn't affect each other if I manage my time correctly. Um, so this way, I feel as if I could do great in both. Instead of just going all in and putting myself into maybe even just two classes, doing one I knew would just allow me to be more comfortable with achieving what I want to achieve, even if it's a little slower. But one of my weakest qualities is self management. My biggest issue has always been procrastination. An example of my procrastination can also be drawn back to when I enrolled myself into this class. I found myself putting it off for a very, very long time, and I did it within the last enrollment week, which wasn't very smart of me considering this class could have been full by then, and I wouldn't have gotten the opportunity to take it this semester. To improve this quality, I've created steps to follow throughout this semester. For starters, I've set a daily study schedule, which is at 7 o'clock every day until 8:30. Of course, this could sometimes vary depending on what's going on. Sometimes at work they need me to stay longer, and maybe those days I'll just maybe not study that day if I'm too tired. Um, but for the most part, this would be my dedicated study time, Monday through Friday, giving myself more than enough study time for this class. Another step I will follow is making a to-do list and including deadlines for everything that is on that to-do list. Um, for example, if an assignment is due Wednesday, instead of saying instead of putting that it's due Wednesday on my to-do list, maybe I'll push it like a day or two behind, saying that it's due like Tuesday, so that I jump on it quicker and I'm not doing anything last second just in case I realize that the assignment's longer than I expected. And then the final step I can take towards improving my self management is to hold myself accountable. For example, if I realize I managed to procrastinate again, I can no longer touch my phone for the rest of the day, giving myself nothing to do except catch up on the work I fell behind on. This step is kind of just to like tell myself like if to catch myself procrastinating, I would tell myself like, okay, it's not worth it. You know, get off your phone because if you procrastinate more, then you won't be able to touch your phone at all. Uh, that's sorry. Uh, yeah. And another quality I feel I'm very weak in is interdependence. The reason I lack this quality is mostly because I feel very afraid to ask others for help, or I tell myself I should be able to do everything on my own. An example of this is when I got my driver's license. What made getting my driver's license so stressful is figuring it out all on my own because I had no idea what I needed. I had no idea what documents to gather, nor even how to gather them. I didn't know what qualified. I didn't know what didn't qualify. I didn't know where to get my W-2, my pay stubs. I was really confused. This resulted in me becoming overwhelmed and eventually asking others for help. And once I asked others for help, everything went smoothly. And then up regretting not asking for help sooner. Like people told me where to go, what to get, what to make sure I bring. Um, Helped me set up my appointment. It was just like so much easier, and it was such a waste of stress. This kind of mindset sets me back, and I know relying on or learning from others can truly excel me in life. So, in order to improve upon this, I have made the goals of course, if I can't figure it out after trying twice, then I go ask for help instead of becoming stuck on whatever the issue may be. If I am struggling with class, instead of cramming everything into my brain the night before a test, I will schedule an online tutoring session so someone could help me instead of trying to figure it out on my own. At my job, I consult with my coworkers more on how to improve in anything they see me lacking. This will improve not only my self-awareness, but even my interdependence at the same time. If I follow these steps, I truly believe I will stay on track towards becoming a successful student at Lone Star Community College.